Welcome to the Garage Gym Life Media channel. I'm John Greaves III, founder of Garage Gym Life and publisher of the Home Gym Quarterly digital magazine. At Garage Gym Life Media, we're always trying to bring you fresh content and serve the home gym community in ways that other brands are not. So that's why I'm super excited to bring you this interview with Wes and Joe, the hosts of the Average Joe's OC powerlifting stream on Twitch. Wes and Joe have an exciting opportunity to compete in an online powerlifting meet on Twitch this Labor Day weekend. Get all the details right after this. Hey guys, it's awesome to be able to carve out some time to talk to you today. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me here on a Friday. Oh, and happy July 3rd. That's a holiday somewhere, I'm sure. And,
it's Canada Day.
Yeah, it was just Canada Day, right? Are you guys in Canada?
No.
I'm assuming you're not because it says OC. I was like, isn't that Orange County in California? I didn't know that.
Yes.
All right.
Sunny Orange County.
All right. So tell me all about Average Joe's OC. Who are you guys? You're obviously in a garage gym, and it looks awesome. So tell me all about who you are and what you do.
So we are Average Joes, your most average bros on Twitch. We are a powerlifting stream on twitch.tv. For everyone who doesn't know, twitch.tv is a gaming website where you can stream video games. They have recently implemented sports and fitness, and we're one of the powerlifting streams on it. And we've been doing it for about 2 to 3 years now on the site. And a little bit more about us. We do have a wide range of degrees. Myself, I have a kinesiology background, and then Wes over here to my left.
Hello.
Actually has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So we also combine self-defense streams with our powerlifting streams.
I think between the two of us, we have a very wide array of random knowledge that one might not assume. I also have a couple of college degrees under that black belt, and just years of experience of teaching.
Awesome. So Wes, Os. And you are,
Os.
Yeah, you are Jiu-Jitsu. And then what's your name?
My name is Joe. I have Average Joe.
You're Wes, right? We got that. All right, you're just all right. There you go. I was like, somebody's got a name has to be Joe for it to be Average Joe's. All right, cool, man. I really appreciate you guys reaching out to me to even tell me about what you guys have coming up. And like we do our live streaming for powerlifting meets in person, but you guys have something that's really, really cool that's going to open things up for a lot of people. It's similar to something that we've done on Instagram as one of the sponsors of the Garage Gym competition. But what you guys are going to be doing is going to be on Twitch. So tell me about that.
Yeah, would you like to get away?
So really what it's going to be is almost the exact same thing we saw with other powerlifting competitions. It's just that people are going to be sending in their videos for that week-long period. So it's going to be from August 30th until July 5th. Record your best lifts, your best squat, bench, and deadlift. And we're going to then be reviewing it live on twitch.tv.
Okay. So you guys will basically be the judges.
So correct. There's going to be 4 judges. It's going to be myself, a gentleman named Ben Rice. He's a nationally ranked powerlifter.
Yeah.
Destroyed, Twitch streamer, and Eat It Pal, another Twitch streamer.
Okay. Yeah, Ben Rice writes a lot of stuff for Elite FTS. Actually, that's Ben Polak, another very strong powerlifter. But Ben Rice is still a legitimately strong dude with an 1879 total who's been placing consistently in the top 5 at meets since 2006. And I have seen a ton of Ben Rice's videos, which have been extremely helpful in my own training, as you'll hear in a second. Okay, back to the video.
Oh, you know Ben Rice. Oh, awesome.
Come on, man. Yeah. Ben Rice is the man. Yeah.
My mother knows Ben Rice.
He's actually one of the first people I saw with doing hook grip. He had a really good hook grip tutorial on YouTube. I remember checking that out. It was really, really helpful. And then after that, I went, so my powerlifting coach is Steve Goggins. And so I went to him and he kind of helped me fine tune it because I was like, I'm not interested in a bicep tear. And so I just switched over to hook.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, that's a tangent. But that's just.
Those muscle thumbs or one of your biceps.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey. I look at it like the Olympic lifters are doing hook grip, and they've been doing it for years. Of course, they put that little tape on their thumbs. I say, there's got to be something to it. So many very strong people use it. I just like, I'm happy with it. All right, so let me throw some more questions at you. You said there's going to be 4 judges. So Ben Rice, the two of you, and then you said another person. Who else?
Yeah, so there's going to be two other streamers. It'll be his name is D Shroyd. He's a Twitch streamer. And then Eat It Pal. He's another Twitch streamer. They're both we're all fitness streamers within Twitch.
Okay. As far as judging goes, powerlifting is notorious for having multiple federations. So what are going to be the judging criteria? You guys going to follow any particular federation's rules, or are you going to try to just come up with a hybrid that, you know, you've come up with yourselves?
Yeah, it's going to be an amalgamation of a few rules. Due to the online format, it's kind of difficult to really run a strict rule set. But basically for the squat, bench, and deadlift, the rules are very simple. Squat, you just need to break parallel and come up to a full lockout position. With bench, you need to keep your butt and feet on the ground and bench. Bring the bar down to your chest, and then press it back up. And then on deadlift is bring a weight from the floor to a locked out position, hold it for a second, and then back down. So very, very simple rules.
All right, so now let's nerd out on the powerlifting side of things. So for squat, what you just described to me tells me you're using raw rules. So if somebody is lifting in a suit, they're going to have to follow the raw rules for squat depth, because if you multiply, your depth is basically the bottom of your hamstring has to be parallel to the ground, whereas raw rules, your hip crease has to be below your knees, just to make it simple. Or at least I say make it simple, but God knows there are so many ways that people make that complicated. And then, so that tells me one thing. And then the other thing is, are these squats going to be walked out? Or if you have a monolift, can you go ahead and just start your squat by just moving the arms out of the way?
Yeah, that's a great question. If an individual has a monolift in their garage gym, more power to them, because those things are expensive.
They're not cheap and they're not free neither.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't have any rules for walking out or using a monolift. It's really, I'm just more concerned about you hitting depth and then coming out to a full locked out position.
Okay. So somebody can either Steinborn the weight up, like a real man. They can have two friends lift the weight onto their shoulders and then they squat. All right. I mean, you don't care how the bar gets to their shoulders and how they get in position to start. You just want them to start. All right.
Exactly.
You start carrying once the bar starts moving.
Have the bar descend down like Darth Vader's helmet in Empire, and then squat from there and squat back up.
Why is that not in the rule book? That should be it. Yeah. Man. You are pioneer.
Looking ahead.
Yeah, that's right. All right. And then let's talk about the bench. What I didn't hear was a start or a pause. Mm-hmm. So there's no start command and there's no requirement. You did say pause, right?
Yeah. So we don't want any, I don't know,
so no touch and go.
Say it, but the bouncing off the chest, like no rubber band effect.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't want any cracked sternums.
Yeah. No cracked sternums.
Prone power clean. Okay.
Yeah.
Never
heard that. That's funny.
That is our new saying.
Oh, power clean, so good.
That's beautiful.
All right. And then for deadlift, I mean that is fairly simple, but a lot of people get that wrong because they're like, I mean, especially when somebody's new, they'll, they come to lockout and then they're like waiting for somebody to tell them, okay, now what? Or I'm sorry, not lockout, but they're waiting for somebody to tell them to start the lift. If they're brand new, they go to deadlift and it's like, kind of waiting on you here. You got to, but you guys, obviously, since you're not going to be there and these aren't going to be live, there's nobody to say down to give you a down command for deadlifting. So you just want them to come up, pause, and then like make it a noticeable pause so everybody knows, okay, that's my lockout, and then come back down. Am I right?
Yeah, really, we're just looking for people to demonstrate control over the weight. Okay. If you come up and then back down, okay, not ideal. We want to make sure people are lifting safely and that people are controlling the weight.
Yes, it's weightlifting, not weight throwing.
Okay. All right. So now I made that sound very simple, so let's make it complicated.
Yes.
Hitching, no hitching.
No hitching. That's the
straps or no straps?
Strongman competition.
Yeah.
That's a hitch-free zone, exactly.
All right. can they wear straps or no straps?
We are allowing straps. This is kind of controversial. A lot of people don't like straps, but again, for our newer lifters, they haven't perfected the hook grip. We also, like we talked earlier, you don't want any type of bicep tears or any injuries to happen. So we're just allowing straps right out the gate. Really, a lot of things are allowed. The only things that we're not allowing are any type of deadlift suits, any squat suits, bench suits, any suits of any matter.
Okay. Footwear choices. Do you care if they're, I mean, obviously they're going to be at home or wherever they happen to be. So you don't care about footwear. You know, they could be barefoot and that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I know, what the heck? I just went through puberty again. But what about socks? Do you guys have a rule about, you know, like those shin guard things? Because I know USAPO has a thing like don't wear those because it supposedly gives you some sort of aid in the lift. Like, do you have equipment requirements? Let's just say it like that.
Yeah, so the equipment requirements, you can have no equipment, right? Or you can be in, you wouldn't wear knee sleeves for a deadlift, but you could wear the socks for a deadlift. For the squats, you can have knee sleeves. For the bench, you can have wrist wraps. Really the only...
can they wear wrist wraps on deadlift?
I'm sorry?
Can they wear their wrist wraps to deadlift?
Yes, they can wear their wrist wraps to deadlift, yeah.
Okay.
If we're allowing straps, we're going to allow wrist wraps.
Yeah. Okay.
Our main thing is that our novice lifters that are competing, we want them to feel as comfortable as possible. Whatever they've been doing at home, we can allow them to keep doing it. For our more professional lifters, the guys and girls that are going for the highest totals, the highest bench, the highest squat, the highest deadlift, we're going to be a little bit more strict with them, and they're going to be following their set of rules for competition.
Okay. So what I heard you say was clothing optional, and you don't really. That's not what you. Okay. That's not what they said. Somebody's gonna do it. Do not do that. Wear clothing. Yeah.
We've had a few people already talk about doing nude submissions. It'd be great. That's good for our portfolio, but we're not going to live stream it.
We'll not be live stream. We also don't recommend deadlifting in the nude.
It's not good.
So I actually am not as worried about the nude submissions, but I know somebody out there. In fact, I got a couple of names in my head of people who would do this, would be out there lifting in a banana hammock and like the little Speedo things. I know somebody out there's going to do that. All right.
I very much believe you.
Yeah,
they're out there practicing right
private
now.
Collection.
Yeah, that goes right over here. That goes into our homework folder.
Wow. All right. So let's talk about some other things that for people who may be new to this sort of thing. One thing that my coach always talks about whenever people send him videos, and I've interviewed some other coaches who complain about this all the time, is that people send in videos and it's at the worst possible angle. You're like, well, how am I supposed to tell anything from that? So because this is a competition, you want to put it at the best angles, right? So from the perspective of you guys who are going to be judging, where would you, I know that everybody wants to put their squat from the front, but to help you out, do you want it from the side, like where a judge would be sitting in the side chair? Or do you want it from the front, or what do you want?
Yeah, the majority of people that are going to be submitting are going to be submitting from the front. People like you to see their face when they squat. I don't understand it. But it's for ours, we would like to prefer two angles. I know that's difficult for a lot of people. But if I had to pick one over the other, it's going to be front.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried. Sometimes I do like a quarter angle, so it kind of gives you almost where like the judge would be sitting. But then the plates might get in the way or just whatever. So it's just play it. To me, my advice is just play around with it a few times, practice before you send this in, some good angles, because, you want to help these guys out, especially if you're going to be one of those people that complains and says that your depth was good, but somebody else's wasn't or whatever, please have your video be at a good angle so you can show that, you don't need to sit down on the floor, but don't need to towel either. So we talked about camera angles. And then, as far as the handoff person goes, I know, again, it goes back to a lot of people, it's going to depend on camera angle. Mm-hmm. From my perspective, based on our live streams and whatever, and I want you guys to chime in on this, if somebody's going to be filming their bench, would you prefer that they have the camera above, kind of like you guys are right now, that they have the camera set up behind the bench where the head judge would be sitting, in which case their handoff person has to get out of the way?
Yeah.
Or do you want it in the front where everybody can see the moose knuckle?
I wasn't prepared for moose knuckle.
Take your time as you think about the answers for this. Take all the time you need.
Personally, no. This is kind of a overarching rule for the bench, squat, and deadlift. We want to see the weight, so we want to see the amount of weight on the bar. And then for bench specifically, the behind the shoulder, the Keiko angle, as it's been called, that's great to me. We can see it clearly touch the chest, and then we can see it clearly press up. We can also see if your feet or butt lift off from the bench or the floor.
Okay.
That is the preferred angle. Again,
so behind the bench, you spotted your handoff guys got to get out the way.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, please. I feel like people are going to understand this, but if your guy's blocking the lift, we're going to make fun of you on live stream.
You definitely don't want a recording of somebody's butt while you're grunting and trying to lift in the background.
I mean, and I get that the safety thing is like you want your spotter to be right there, but dude, just have two side spotters. Find two cousins or two people who hate you. I don't care, whatever. Get two people that day to just stand there. All you got to do is, what's the most amount of time they're going to have to stand there? 3 times, right? So yeah. Have them hang out for the squat too. That might be good.
Nice.
Safeties are nice.
I think the biggest deal we're looking for is just the angle being clear enough where we can see the weight and we can see at least the majority of the lift be done properly. We don't want angles or cameras or even people to become a barrier for entry. I would hate for someone to, I'm like, oh, I would love to do this, but I don't have 2 friends. Or I'd love to do this, but I've only got the 1 camera. Or the way my bench is set up, I can't get that angle. I would hate for someone to be super excited to compete, but due to camera issues, they can't do it.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of that Kevin Hart skit where he said, well, the way my checking account is set up. You just said that where my bench is set up. I was like, I got a right arm and a left, and I just. Good
reference. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. All right. So for somebody who's lifting alone, try to set the camera up, so that people can see. Because, like for me, if I were doing this, it would be a little bit more difficult because, like many people, I have my power rack set up against the wall, right? Mm-hmm. But that day, if you've got the right kind of safeties, you can actually, what I'll do is probably set it up kind of like Matt Vincent has his. So he actually benches outside the power rack, and he just has the, you can just put like some, what you call safeties right out there with you so that you can keep yourself safe. But that gives you that extra room so people can see it.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything that I'm forgetting to ask you that you think might be important for me to know?
Where it's going to be live streamed.
Yes. Where can you watch the live stream?
Take it away.
Yeah. So we'll be actually streaming this live on twitch.tv. So we're not going to be streaming everyone's lifts live because that would be a nightmare to do. But we're going to be reviewing all the films submitted to us live on twitch.tv.
Okay.
I believe we're doing this from our page, averagejoes_OC. Okay. And if you guys would like to view it, it's going to all be on there. So we'll have all the 4 judges watching the film at the bottom, and we'll be pulling it up and reviewing it together on that format.
Yes.
Okay. So if you want, so as I understand it, if you want to participate, you got to get your entries in, obviously ahead of time. Do not send your entries in that day. Just
please
don't do that.
Please don't do that.
So what is the deadline to submit entries?
So there's a hard deadline. So the event's going from August 30th through September 5th. Okay. September 5th is the hard stop. If you send it to September 6th, we will not open it. I will delete the video.
Okay. All right.
Go to spam.
All right. Okay. So September 5th is the hard deadline to submit your videos. And then to actually watch the competition, you're going to want to watch it on the 7th?
Yep, correct. September 7th, Labor Day.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. That's a good day. Nothing really going on. People just hang out and watch some powerlifting.
Yeah.
Man, I hope you guys have a huge turnout. Because I think that this is the sort of thing that is not just groundbreaking. I mean, obviously it is, but it's also a great way that I think that we can expand powerlifting, because you got a lot of people who are introverted, or even if they're not introverted, they're not into the idea of traveling a long distance just to have strangers tell them whether they're strong or not, right?
Yeah,
and they're like, you know what, man?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then it's like you got a family. You got to drag all of them with you, or else you got the only car. Now your wife is stuck at home while you're wearing your onesie with your friends or whatever. Yeah, it's not no.
Yeah.
So
Like
it's like, hey, let's just go ahead and just open this up so that people can start competing online. You know, I mean, like CrossFit was doing that with the Open. That's what I think is one of the reasons why CrossFit became so popular, because everybody could participate in the Open. And now they've gotten rid of the Open. I don't know how things are going to, and then all the other stuff they got going on. I don't know how things are going to shake out, but this is an opportunity for powerlifting to kind of step out of the shadows a little bit. And, you know, we may never go back to the WPO days, but this is a great opportunity. I'm really appreciate you guys for what you're doing. And I'll be honest with you, I don't see it. I mean, I'm a competitive person, okay? But I don't see this as competition, because to me, a rising tide raises all boats. And I really appreciate you guys reaching out to me and asking for my help. I'm super willing to do anything I can for this community I've been a part of for 20 years. So I really appreciate it. Before we sign off, tell people once again how they can follow you, watch what you guys have going on now, and also how they can get the information to get involved with the competition. I'll put all this in the description of the video as well, but go ahead and just tell them everywhere they can find you and encounter you.
Perfect. Excellent.
Yeah, take it away.
So if you guys want to find us, we're going to be on twitch.tv/averagejoes_OC. That's going to be us on our streaming site. We mainly stream powerlifting. We also stream some video games too. We can also find us on Instagram at averagejoes_OC there as well.
To sign up for the event?
Sign up for the event. Thank you. I was like, oh,
I'm like, I got you.
To sign up for the event, there's a link to the Discord, which we will send to you.
It'll be in the bottom, yeah.
That way, down there. All you got to do is click on that link. It takes you to the Discord. You join the Discord, and then from there, you'll have all the information available to you. It's also cool because in the Discord, you can just talk to the other people competing, people that aren't even near you. This is just a way we want to bring the powerlifting community together, and also just bring new members in who might not have found it before. Once you get to the Discord, if you go to the information tab, there's a little thing about signing up. You click on the thumbs up and you're in.
Just like that.
Click the link, find information, click the thumbs up, you're in. Quite simple.
Awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do not miss out on the chance to compete and help grow the sport of powerlifting. You'll find all the links for you to sign up, as well as to get more information in the description for this video. Best of luck to everyone who decides to compete. And if you did enjoy this video, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button, because that is the only way that we grow. And of course, share it with your friends. I'll see you next time.